Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Did you miss us? Well, we're back. Matt Kudrowski and Simon Johnstone here in Cave Arena getting set for match number 2 between the Covenant Scots you just saw defeat your Piedmont Lions in 4 sets against the also visiting LaGrange College Panthers. Now, it gets a little tricky because when you look at the scoreboard in Cave Arena, it just says Guest and Lions. So we will figure out which one is which once it gets started. But fortunately for us, we will have our live stats in front of us to keep up with that, and we will have the live stats as our scoreboard for this game in match number 2 in order to provide for the broadcast. Simon, so we just saw the Scots coming off of what was a tremendous offensive, explosive effort, courtesy of about 4 different players, each getting double-digit kills. Are you expecting the same kind of performance in this second match against LaGrange?
I'm going to be honest. I think I'd be selling these Scots short if I didn't think so. The biggest key that I think helped propel the Scots to victory was their distinct height advantage over the Lions. And if you thought the height advantage was pretty major for that matchup, wait till you see these two teams standing across each other on the net. The LaGrange, I believe Panthers are...
the tallest player is 5'10".
Yeah, compared to a 6'2", 6'1" spread across the front for the Scots.
Here's something else to keep in mind. When it comes to LaGrange, we just said 5'10" is the tallest. Do you know what? 5'9" is the second tallest, and then you drop to 5'7".
That's going to be really interesting how they're going to handle the firepower that the Scots have. Because not only are they super tall, but they swing at that ball.
We'll just say those girls are insanely powerful.
Absolutely.
And it's insane when you're seeing so many players just have absolute, what I would say, like muskets for arms, cannons for arms. I mean, I've said before, they'll put some thunder, some Texas Pete, if you will, behind every single attack that they put out there.
And I hope the Panthers were taking notes from the Lions, because what the Lions did so well to grab themselves set number 3 and keep it close in set number 4 as well was scramble and just grind out those points. Keep those Scots on their back heels. Keep Covenant scrambling and not really sure where that ball is going to end up. And that is what gave them such a benefit in those last 2 sets for their match. And I hope that LaGrange will do the same and try and just play a little bit more creative and a little bit more wild, because they for sure are going to have to hit around blocks and definitely not over them.
Here's what we got starting. Who we got starting for those LaGrange Panthers? Number 4, Cologne Gonzalez. Number 6. Wait, whoa, hang on. Let me back that up for a sec, because Cologne Gonzalez is the last name. Bianca Cologne Gonzalez, number 4. Number 6, Zentrina Choice. Number 12, Bailey Moss. Number 10, Jalia Harris. Number 1, Meredith Orton. Number 11, Riley Morgan. And the libero, number 9, Shania Espada. Starting for the Covenant Scots, a lot of the same players that we saw in match number 1. Number 4, Taylor Caldwell. Number 18, Emma Cobflesh. Number 2, Kyla Bailey. Number 19, Kelsey Carmen. Number 14, Grace Lochterman. Number 11, Rachel Bartlett. And the libero, number 12, Anna Baldwin.
Quite an interesting start to the match as we have a service error for the first point of match number 2, LaGrange grabbing themselves their first point.
And for the most part, in match number 1, we didn't see a lot of those service errors from those Scots.
No. As a total for them, they actually only had 5.
Here's the attack by Bailey, and it gets through the block and into the campfire. And you can see the Panthers get burned on that one.
You have fallen in love with that term, haven't you?
I have fallen in love with that term. I'm going to keep using that for the rest of my broadcasting career anytime I call volleyball. And I'll be sure to invite you to any single broadcast that I do, Simon Johnstone.
That's good to hear.
Attacking error courtesy of number 10, Jalia Harris. She's trying to kind of tip it over. Ends up not even reaching the net, ends up tipping it laterally.
She was going for a real sharp angle and just may have needed the protractor on that one, as she just cut that a little bit too sharp.
Here's the attack for the Panthers. Bailey's going to send it back over for the Scots. Panthers teaming up to bump it over. Here's the set looking for Carmen. Carmen just misses that back corner, and the Panthers have a 2-2 score now after tying that one.
A bit of an uncharacteristic attack from Carmen, who was the kill leader for the Scots in game and match number 1. Starting off with an error, though, I don't expect her to slow down her production. She is going to be firing every single time she has the opportunity.
And back serve right now for the Panthers, number 6, Zentrina Choice. And a kill for the Panthers. That one just goes through the hands of Anna Baldwin, the libero.
Trying to keep that one in play. Good swing from the Panthers, putting the pressure on the Scots.
That kill... Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I'm curious how their service game is for the Panthers. I wasn't able to watch much of their warm-up, but right now it's holding true and strong as the Scots can't really seem to get into position and into rotation for them to set up their big hitters.
I was just going to say that kill was courtesy of Jaria Harris, and this last point is actually going to come as a result of a bad set by Rachel Bartlett. Now the ball gets sent over to our table over on the side of the court.
And Zentrina Choice, I'd love for you to watch this next serve, has some serious pepper behind that hand. She is coming in with some heat, and it is tough to read how that ball's moving in the air.
5-2 the score right now. Diving play by Baldwin to keep it going.
Going to call a net violation, it looks like, on LaGrange. Number 4, Colon Gonzalez with the error.
So the Scots finally getting a point to break that run that the Panthers were on. Emma Codflesh back to serve for the Scots. 5-3 the score right now. Panthers getting set. Goes down as an ace for Emma Codflesh as the Panthers just not able to get a good reception off of that serve.
And I got a pop quiz for you. Do you know who the ace leader is for Covenant?
Is it Emma Codflesh?
It is Emma Codflesh.
I am not surprised at all. Codflesh back to serve yet again. That one's so powerful, it goes off of the libero and into the stands.
Not going to grab herself an ace, but still dangerous ball and dangerous serve, putting the pressure on LaGrange.
And the Scots, they were down by 2, and now makes them accomplish back-to-back service aces. It's already evened up at 5 apiece.
Oh, my
goodness. It's about to be back-to-back aces for Emma Codflesh. Oh, my goodness. Have you ever seen anything like this, Simon?
Runs like this are few and far between, but when they happen, when you're receiving these serves, you just start questioning everything. You don't trust where it's going. You start freaking out. Great dig from LaGrange to get the ball back into play finally, though.
I thought for sure that was about to be a 4th straight ace for Codflesh, and if that was the case, that would have been the most extraordinary scene I've ever seen. Really? Point awarded to the Panthers. Ball just gets away from those Scots, not able to get a good, solid recovery there.
Jaria Harris with the kill. It's the same acute angle she had at the first point of the match, this time finding the other side of the net. Unable to cover was, I believe, Codflesh, who's now rotated out for libero Anna Baldwin.
And now back to serve is number 16, Morgan Martin.
The ball seemingly dodging the arms of every LaGrange Panther. It looked like 3 of them avoided that ball as it flew past the baseline, as LaGrange now takes a 1-point lead, 7-6 the scoreline. Back to serve is number, I can't read that, unfortunately, number 5 it looks like, we don't have a 5, so I don't know who that is.
What a way for the Scots to kind of recover, though. And the block out front by Lochterman gets away from the Panthers. And one thing about those Panthers, they are just not really spacing out. They're all kind of clustering and running after the ball as one. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's something you really want to be doing.
It's a curious strategy, to say the least. Not something that most traditional volleyball teams will do, but they're even with Covenant at this point, and maybe that could be the answer that they're looking for, is playing so tight compacted they can generate a swing at any circumstance.
I mean, they're just kind of going after that ball like some kind of food item falling into a pool of fish. Here comes the attack by the Scots, able to send it over. Kept alive by Anna Baldwin, now setting it up. That's number 9, Reagan Keener. First time we've said her name all day. Ball gets sent into the side of the net. Point awarded to the Scots, evens the game set up at 7-all.
And we have, looks like Amber Snook back to serve, a freshman. I don't believe we saw her in match number 1, but she is going to be playing back row.
Don't believe we did.
For
First
the
time we've
Scots.
seen her all day. Here's the attack by the Panthers. Miscue there, courtesy of number 3, Alexis Childers. Just puts a little too much hot sauce on there. I'm not a big kind of spice guy myself.
You said you're not?
I'm not a big spice guy. My spice game is absolutely awful.
I am from the north, reigning from Wisconsin, so don't
Really?
trust me. I am, and I'm not anti-spice, but put some pepper on it, I'm calling it, and say it has a little bit of a kick.
See, my parents are from North Jersey, southeastern PA.
Ah.
So that's where most of my family resides, is kind of up there in that region of the north. And that's the area of Italians where if you use a spoon assist to eat your spaghetti, it's a mortal sin.
Ah, that's nice. I believe that was an ace by our friend Jairia Harris.
She'll
It
be
is
back to serve
indeed.
yet again. This is her second go.
9-9 is the scoreline for the first set.
Baldwin set by Snook. Harris tries to bump it over, ends up sending it into the side of the net. That goes down as another attacking error for the Panthers and another point for the Scots, now up 10-9 here in set number 1.
Something I've been trying to decipher is when we watched the Lions play the Scots felt and looked really comfortable setting up a lot of opportunities to attack the Lions, and here they seem to be scrambling a lot more, out of position, as a fantastic tip by the Panthers looked to be Meredith Orton with the kill, tip over the right side block. And as I was saying, they seem to be a little bit more out of position, unable to generate that firepower, which if LaGrange can keep up the pace and keep up the pressure that they're doing, it's going to be a scary time for the Scots.
And back to serve now is the libero, Sanaya Espada.
Looks to be a formation error on LaGrange, calling out, I believe, to be the right side or outside hitter too far over, which is going to grant the Scots a free point. But Anna Baldwin's now back to serve, leading 11-10.
Now, can you explain that for me, please? Because you played volleyball. We were
did.
discussing that. That's how you have your vast knowledge. I did not play volleyball. I just wrote about volleyball. I covered volleyball via articles. What in the world classifies as a legal formation in volleyball?
So, in a simple world of volleyball, you have 6 positions. You would line up 3 in the back, 3 in the front. Now, when you get to this level of volleyball, you have designated positions. You have a specific hitter on the left side of the net, middle, and right side. And as you rotate around the court, as you would do in a basic setup, you'll have that right side hitter starting on the left side. And so, as a result of that, you want to line up in a way to get that hitter to the spot they want to be in. And sometimes by doing that, you'll overstep or cross in front of someone who you shouldn't be. For example, say you have 1, 2, 3 at the net. You want 1 next to 2. If you happen to have 1 next to 3 because they want to go over, that's where you get the error.
Well,
I know it's a little complicated.
Thank you for that explanation, because even in my kind of knowledge of sports, I needed a good explanation like that. I appreciate that you kind of dumbed that down for me, because otherwise that would have just flown over my head.
And I will say, the only other sport that comes to mind where it's a situation like that is football, when they set up with either an illegal receiver or too many linemen. But it's very odd because volleyball has super complex setups when it comes to getting to where you want to go, especially on service receive, which is where a lot of these calls will occur.
Interesting. Education here on Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Panthers and Scots going back and forth right now. Scots up by 1. Fake set by Bartlett. Panthers looking to recover. There's Baldwin. Bartlett setting up for Conflesh. Conflesh getting the kill.
And that is the height, just basically not even acknowledging the block, pounding that thing down to the short right corner. This time on a swing and not a tip, something that she had mastered in the first matchup against the Piedmont Lady Lions.
And Conflesh responsible for the Scots' last 2 points, each via a kill. Kyla Bailey back to serve for the Scots. What a great dig by Bartlett to keep that one alive. Baldwin now looking to
Carmen.
Thank you. I couldn't find her for a second there. I don't know why that just slipped past me. Another kill for the Scots. And another point. as now their lead extends to 3 points now.
Courtesy of Caldwell.
Timeout called by the LaGrange Panthers. And what's been a pretty interesting start so far to this first set. Scott's up by 3, 15-12 the score right now, and 10 points away from taking set number 1 here in match number 2 of this tri-match hosted by the Lions in Demorest, Georgia in Cave Arena. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more action. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Getting back into action, Kyla Bailey stepping up to serve again for the Scots here in match number 2 between the Covenant Scots and the LaGrange Panthers here in Cave Arena, home of the Piedmont Lions and hosts of this tri-match. Baldwin looking, getting it over for the Scots, and a shifty little back set there. Conflesh with the attack, and Conflesh with the kill.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Zentrina Choice, the middle blocker for LaGrange, is going to have her work cut out for her all day, as she is at a significant height disadvantage. Specifically, she herself is 5'6", going up against a frame of Conflesh, who is 6'2". A 6-inch difference she has to deal with trying to block that.
I'm not challenging that. If I have that much of a height disadvantage, I'm not trying that.
It's a really unfortunate situation to find herself in, and they're just probably going to try and feed her as much as possible. Still facilitating out wide over to, I believe, Carmen or Caldwell, one of the two. That's going to be Caldwell, actually. Excuse me. Now it's out to Carmen.
And it looks like Carmen went into the side of the net trying to make that play there.
Bit of an unfortunate set, pushed it a little bit too tight to the net. Carmen trying to just scramble and get that over, unfortunately running into the net.
Now, I've always had this question because I'll see volleyball players run up to that net with full speed. How do you not have your momentum cause you to crash into that net?
You mean on an attack like what Carmen just did?
Yes, exactly like that.
So, a couple things. Number one, repetition. I mean, you're never going to be able to naturally do it. When I've played with people who just pick up the sport, they run to the net all the time because they don't know how exactly to do it. And you want to basically, as you're approaching and jumping into it, she's going to put her front foot, plant it, and then try and jump straight up. Now, her momentum's going to push her slightly forward, but by planting that front foot, she's going to go more up than forward, which is going to help her stay away from the net. And then number two, it's really just comes down to balance. When she lands, to be able to keep herself stable and not lean forward is, again, something that comes with practice, but just technique in her jump and landing approach.
I'm learning so much in this match, too, right now. Harris is going to send out into the side of the net. Might go down as a block. We'll see what the ruling is on there. It's going to be an attacking error courtesy of Harris. Now the Scots are up by 6 and 6 points away from closing out match number 2. I kind of want to keep us here. We got about a minute before the end of this timeout. What have you seen kind of so far? Because from what I'm seeing, we're seeing a lot of attacking errors by these LaGrange Panthers right now,
yeah.
And the Scots are just kind of asserting their dominance and making the most of points off of those attacking errors.
And I think that stems from that height disparity. When you're at such a height disadvantage as LaGrange is up front, they have to basically pick a side left or right around those blockers. And not only by doing that are you cutting off the majority of the court because left and right are tighter angles, but they have to put in a spot where those people covering the block aren't going to be present. And that is forcing them to basically go for these really low percentage shots, trying to find the perfect corner, which is leading to a lot of these attacking errors, whereas on the other hand, Covenant basically has free reign. As I mentioned, the 6-inch height difference up front in the middle for Kalbflesh has had the opportunity to put it middle, left, right, short, deep, anywhere she wants, which opens up any percentage, basically. And so their printing percentage will just statistically be way above LaGrange's, but it's going to be on LaGrange to just pick and choose those battles, play high percentage until they find that opportunity to go at them.
And speaking of those attacking percentages for the Panthers right now, they are, in fact, in the negatives, and that's not going to help it as that attack gets sent into the side of the net. All the Panthers in scramble mode, I mentioned it before, all 6 players just rushing to the ball.
Yeah, I think, now they did almost get that ball back in play, but you know, it's very peculiar because normally you want to send 1 or 2 to help and then keep others tight to the net depending on, because you don't know where a ball's going on a scramble. As we get net violation.
I guess that one, was it a net violation?
That's what the assistant ref looked to be calling, as Kalbflesh is going to drop back again to serve on herself. I believe a 5-point run. She has been harnessing. This is her second run. She went on a 3-ace tear in the first time. Grabs another one there. She is on fire. I believe that's ace number 4 for her in just this first set. Actually, 5 first set aces from one player is incredible.
Let's just kind of talk about that. 5 aces from Kalbflesh, and guess what? 5 aces for the team so far.
Yeah, that is.
She's doing it all.
Impressive. Now, looking back
Grant, she just gave up a service error, but that's about been the only service error we've seen from her all day.
Now, you want to hear a fun fact?
Oh boy. Trivia time.
Covenant in the first match against Piedmont had 4 total aces. Kalbflesh alone has bested that with 5 here today in the first set. Not the match, set.
Insane. Positively insane. Here's the attack by Carmen, and that one's going to get down into the hardwood. Leaves a footprint there where she leaves it. Scott's 2 points away from closing out set number 1. 23-14 the score right now, up by 9.
They seem to be a lot more comfortable in these positions that they're finding themselves, keeping LaGrange back, using their power, their pace, and their positioning to really keep the Panthers guessing and on the back foot, as another strong serve is going to force LaGrange to just pass it on over to Covenant, looking to get a strong attack out to the middle once again. Going to fly out, it looks like, from our friend
Lochterman. Grace Lochterman. I thought for sure Grace Lochterman might have caught that last little strip of painter's tape.
I did too. I'm going to be honest.
Interesting ruling there by that corner judge.
And she has been fairly quiet in this first set. She was a big name for their first match victory against Piedmont. I'm expecting a lot of the same here, as a strong ace from, oh my God, I keep moving the rosters, and it's just a detriment to me. But strong ace from, I believe that to be, why does that look like number 10? Jaria Harris, yes, that's right. As they're still fighting, only 8 points behind. 16-23, mark that 7 points behind now.
It's actually going to go down as an attacking error from Lochterman after she sent it into the side of the net.
What do you know?
Interesting. That's just what it says on live stats.
Well, set point for Covenant now. As
there's the service ace.
Harmon.
Yeah,
there we go.
Live stats a little behind there.
Goes back to serve to close out set number 1, 24-16 the score for Covenant.
Harris, another set. That one was looking for Orton. Oddly enough, it looked like that Orton kind of got on that up kind of motion on her attack. I'm surprised it wasn't called a lift.
Yeah, it was a bit of a baby roll. Not really going too offensive there, trying to just keep it in play. Loderman going to find herself another attacking error. Slow start to the second match for her.
I think it's a little risky going for a move like that. Back to serve is Espada, the libero for the Panthers. Here's the set. Looking for Keener, the Scots, and the Panthers able to get another point.
Fantastic job just adjusting all of their players. I mean, you had a single arm bump to a single arm set to a single arm touch over to get that kill. So just well done by them as they get the kill by Zentrina Choice, cutting the deficit to 6, 18-24 the score in set number 1.
Espada back to serve yet again. And somehow that ball gets sent over. Interesting roll off the top of the net. Here's the attack by Keener, kept alive by the Panthers. And then right as I say that, Grace Lochterman just rises up, sends it straight down.
Seemed like
and that concludes set number 1 in dominant fashion for the Scots, winning by 7 points, 25-18 the final score. So the Scots won the first set against the Lions, now win the first set against the Panthers, doing well against the Big Cats so far in this tri-match. And a very great start to match number 2. We're going to take a quick break in between sets, but when we come back, it'll be time for set number 2. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Matt Kudrowski and Simon Johnstone bringing you action of match number 2 of this tri-match between your Piedmont, actually not between your Piedmont Lady Lions. They played in set number 1. They actually dropped set number 1 to the Covenant Scots, who are playing right now against the LaGrange Panthers. And in case you just missed it, the Scots take set number 1 by a final score of 25-18 as we get set with set number 2. Simon, what are you looking for the Scots to do to kind of continue any kind of momentum from set number 1?
I would say just hit as well as they have been. They've got 3 players north of a 500 hitting percentage, which is beyond impressive. Although they are small statistics with only a couple kills to each name, hitting over 500. I mean, the goal is really 300 when it comes to volleyball, and if you're in the negatives, that's where you start to get a few question marks. The team for Covenant's hitting 161, which is a strong statistic for a team, and they just need to keep putting the pressure on and taking advantage of the height disparity they have, the strong serving that they're wielding with a ton of aces already so far in this match, and just keep applying that pressure that they've done so well in their first match in a set.
And as for the LaGrange Panthers, the hitting percentage couldn't be more lopsided, as the Panthers can't seem to get out of the negatives as far as the hitting percentage is concerned. So Scots are definitely have the advantage in that regard. They've also had the advantage in kills, and I can't really emphasize that enough, having almost double the kill totals. 10 kills for the Scots in set number 1, 6 for the Panthers. And I think the names that we just immediately start to think of: Emma Kopflesh, Grace Lochterman, Kyla Bailey. I mean, it's the same players for these Scots players that are just delivering time after time after time again. As we get started, back to serve for the Panthers will be number 11, Riley Morgan. Here's the serve, very powerful serve. Bartlett setting up for Bailey. Bailey's going to tip it over. Harris keeps it alive, and Harris actually sends it back over the net, but well outside of the boundaries. Point awarded to the Scots.
And I believe we have a first sight as she subs out is Tori Moffat. I don't believe we saw her in match number 1, though she was there on the coverage of the spike, as I believe Taylor Caldwell now checks it. Oh, no, not Taylor Caldwell, excuse me. Kinsley Kleinman has checked in.
And speaking of Kinsley Kleinman, what a way to kind of get involved immediately after coming in. Already earns herself a kill, and a very impressive kill by that. That one had a very good topspin, sending that one straight down into the legs of the defensive specialist for those Panthers. And that goes down as a service ace for Kyla Bailey. Oh my goodness.
Fantastic job. The Scots picking up right where they left off, starting off with a 3-0 run. LaGrange trying to find a way to get the ball in play, get themselves a good attack as they look right here. Tip over from the Panthers going out to, oh my gosh, I am struggling here.
You're struggling with names right now.
Because I had the gut, and then the gut questioned it, and it fell apart there, but it's all right.
It's perfectly fine. Ball gets sent into the side of the net, goes down as an attacking error by Taylor Caldwell, and will actually be a point awarded to the Panthers. Here's a quick stat line. Who's the only other Scot to get an ace in this match, not named Emma Codflesh?
Well, we're going to go with Bailey on
Kyla Bailey, who we just saw earlier. First ace not by a player named Emma Codflesh. Speaking of Emma Codflesh, she's back to serve. Already has 5 aces on the day. Why not make it 6?
You think she's got it?
I think she's got it. I don't know if it's on this serve, but yep, service serve. Hey, our first case of announcer's jinx so far in your sportscasting career. How about that?
I like to start early. What can I say?
We're having fun with this match. Panthers are back to serve.
Zentrina Choice, the server for the Panthers. As strong tip slash.
What a way to kind of keep that alive. And the ball just rolls on Meredith Orton. Did not get the solid contact she wanted. Is it hard when you're making contact on a ball that's got that much spin like that?
It is, because it's deceivingly shorter than what you think. When you see topspin, you want to step in, but it just keeps dropping exponentially. So it's really hard to get there, especially with so much pace behind these Covenant Scots swings.
And Harris runs into the net. It'll be a net violation and a point yet again for the Scots. They're up 6-2 right now. And back to serve will be number 4, Taylor Caldwell. Panthers getting set, setting it up for Orton. Orton gets it over. Scott's able to recover. A little bit of stumbling on the side of the Panthers. Crisis averted as it goes down as an attacking error for the Scots. That one off of the right hand of Kinsley Kleinman.
Still swinging. Another new face is going to check in for the Scots. That's going to be Anna Vereen coming in, number 10. I don't believe we've seen her with the leggings.
And back to serve is number 16, Morgan Martin, for the Panthers. And a great play by Snyder to keep it alive. Espada is going to stick an arm out to keep it alive for the Panthers, rather. And what a great play there. Great effort by the Panthers, all for naught there after a very powerful attack. That one from the left, or rather the right hand of number 3, Hannah Harrer.
Such an interesting spelling. H-A-E-R-E-R.
I did get a verification there, and it is, in fact, Harrer.
Harrer, gotcha.
Now back to serve is number 1, Tori Mafat. First time we've said her name all day today. The junior making her first appearance. Scott's getting set. It's Bailey, and Bailey gets it off the blockers and into the LaGrange bench. 8-3 Scots right now, and Moffitt back to serve.
You want to learn another fun term?
Sure, give me another fun term.
When you have an attack or a swing at the block, goes off the block and lands out of bounds, casually we like to call it a tool.
A what?
A tool.
A
tool.
We'll
tool time.
Tool time. Well, it's been tool time all day for the Scots, and it looks like they're going to go back into the toolbox. Timeout called by the Scots. 9-3 the score. Scots up right now. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Matt Kajowski and Simon Johnstone bringing you the action in match number 2, set number 2 of match number 2, here in Cave Arena in Demorest, Georgia, as the Lady Lions host a tri-match between themselves, the LaGrange Panthers, and the Covenant Scots. The Covenant Scots, they came, they saw, and they conquered in match number 1 against your Lady Lions, winning in 4 sets. And right now, they're up 1-0 in sets against the Panthers right now, and they're currently up 9-3 here in set number 2. Harris with the attack, kept alive by the Scots. Baldwin, Bailey will bump it over. Panthers are getting set. Here's the attack by Orton, gets away from Baldwin, and the Scots goes down as another point for the Panthers. So 9-4 the score now.
And I'm hoping after that timeout, they're going to stay as aggressive as that last point, because although they're short in stature, their swings are just as powerful as Covenant's. And frankly, if they can harness all of that and keep hitting those cross angles, as oh my goodness, as Harrer just literally jumps over the block and grabs herself another kill, as we see our friend
Emma Kofflesh, the tallest player on this Scots roster, coming in. And I don't know, if I'm a LaGrange Panther right now and my tallest player is 5'10", I got to match up against a 6'2" middle blocker, I start to question my life choices.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You look into retirement early.
Here's another thing to keep in mind. A 14-player roster for these Panthers, 9 of which are freshmen.
Really?
9 freshmen. And that tallest player, freshman.
Bit of an experience when it comes to cohesion and chemistry are the Panthers, but they have seemed to play well together so far, scrambling and keeping points alive, as a smart tip from Rachel Bartlett, it looks like, finding the far right side of the court.
What a very smart play by the setter. Baldwin, the libero, back to serve. Harris and the Panthers getting set. Bartlett setting it up for Bailey. Bailey with the attack, and Bailey missing her mark just a little bit as that one just carries past that back line. 12-5 the score right now. Scots up by 7. Espada back to serve for the Panthers.
One thing I noticed that Covenant's doing, and I don't believe they did it against the Lions, is they're running one setter through all 6 rotations, which allows her to not only jump up and block, as the Panthers shut down Covenant on a strong block. That's going to be a block by Alexis Childers along with Zentrina Choice, joint block, cutting the lead to now 6-12 in favor of Covenant.
Espada back to serve yet again for the Panthers, down by 6. Bartlett setting it up for Conflesh. Conflesh just tips it over the top of those blockers. And makes it look way too easy.
And where else is it but the short right side of the court?
She really does favor that area of the court when she plays.
It seems to be uncovered by every team she's encountered so far, as she just keeps finding free points after free points.
It's just unfair. It's just unfair to watch. Attacking error by the Panthers. That was Childers missing her mark there, as that one carries it past that back line. And Bartlett will be back to serve. Harris just going to bump it back over. This time setting it up. And a great finish by Caldwell, able to rise up and catch it just in front of that back line.
I feel like Harris was kind of like, hey, we need to work on our defense a little bit. Come at us again. Let's see how you do it. And fortunately didn't pan out, as Covenant grabs another kill, as that serve sails deep from Rachel Bartlett. Lead now 8 for Covenant, 15-7 the score.
And I think the majority of these points for the Panthers right now have just been coming off of any kind of errors they've been able to muster from these Scots.
Absolutely. I'm trying to see the total errors. Seems to be 4 so far in this set. which is just one short of their first set total of 5. Interesting to see how many more they'll find as Covenant is looking to shut out and grab a 2-set-to-love lead here in the second.
Bailey rejected up front. She's going to try again, this time tip it over. It's kept alive by the Panthers. This is another set, this one looking for Caldwell. This time looking for Cobflesh, and it's kept alive by Espada. The Scots getting set. Bailey sends it over. Panthers able to rebound. Fake set. Kept alive by Bartlett. Looking for Chalmers yet again. Caldwell able to get the finish as that one buckles between those blockers for the Panthers and the side of the net.
And one thing I want to point out about the Scots is I mentioned this towards the end of their first matches, how tired they looked when it came to dropping the third set and playing in the fourth. And I was questioning about their bench depth as they had to play right after it, almost a double-header per se. And they have brought in Kinsley Kleinman, they brought in Anna Vereen, and they brought in Tori Moffat, who have stepped in tremendously and kept this team to the same standard, helping them grow to now an 8-point lead against the Panthers. I am extremely impressed by their bench depth and their ability to be as cohesive as they look and play as though they should be starting as well.
That one's going to be ruled as a bad set by Rachel Bartlett. Snyder's going to pop it up. Bartlett looking for Coflesh. Coflesh looking to get the finish. Kept alive by the Panthers. And that one just gets sent way over the net and way over the Scots part of the court. Point for the Scot. That goes down as attacking error by Bailey Moss. Timeout called by LaGrange. Scots up 17-8 right now here in set number 2 of match number 2. We're going to take a break with them. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Matt Kudrowski and Simon Johnstone bringing you the action in set number 2 of match number 2. That one goes down as an attacking error for the Panthers, as it looks like Zentrina Choice was just trying to get a good piece of it, ends up whiffing and sends herself into the side of the net. Emma Cobflesh back to serve yet again for the Scots. She already has 5 aces so far. Here's a great attack by the Scots and a great finish. Number 6, Kinsley Kleinman, already her second kill.
Yeah, she stepped in well. As I mentioned earlier, she did not play in the first match, but has come in against LaGrange and played extremely strong. I believe she's hovering around 3 kills herself, as Covenant has definitely spread the love more in this match, as they have multiple hitters with tons of kills, as it looks like the Scots did find the back line.
Actually, no, it's going to be ruled that it was tipped up front by those middle blockers. It would be ruled as a kill for Hannah Harrer. I'm not sure if I saw that.
No.
But point is awarded to the Scots. They're 5 points away from closing out this set. The score is 20-8. Harris is going to bump it over. That ball gets sent past the back line. Another attacking error for the Panthers. 21-8. The Scots are absolutely dominating the Panthers right now.
I got to be honest, though. I like that play from the Panthers. They're swinging out of system. They're swinging on the second touch instead of the third, which is the traditional strategy. And that's forcing, if it goes in, it's forcing the Scots to definitely scramble, because who expects the second set? So if the LaGrange Panthers can really harness that and keep them in play, I think that's going to be beneficial in the long run. They unfortunately have missed, I believe, all of their chances on those second set touches as they go for another tip here. And Covenant looking to attack deep. Espada with the dig, kicks out to Harris. And Covenant's going to, Covenant's going to grab that one. Called out on LaGrange.
That ball just got sent right into the side of the net. And just like that, the Scots are 2 points away from closing out set number 2 without the Panthers even sniffing double digits. Kept alive. Great diving play by Bartlett. And then it looked like Caldwell just bumped it over. Here's the attack by Kleinman. Kleinman ends up sending that one into the side of the net. Attacking error for the Scots, 23-9 right now. Scots on top of the Panthers, 2 points away from closing out set number 2, and Choice is back to serve for the Panthers. Bartlett setting it up, and this time a diving play to keep it alive. Panthers able to send it over, and it gets sent just outside of those marking boundaries. 24-9 set point for the Scots, 24-9. LaGrange has not even reached double digits yet.
They are basically taking a few steps back, which is something you don't want to see, as there's set number 2 to Covenant off a strong serve by Taylor Caldwell. That's going to give them a 2-set-to-love lead as they switch sides heading into the third set.
What a way to kind of close it out with an ace, and that is just actually, no, it's not even going down as an ace. It actually goes down as attacking error by Morgan Riley. But 6 aces for the Scots so far, 5 of which came from Emma Kopflesh,
who has been outstanding. First match, she dominated in kills and blocks, and now she's showing her off her ability to serve.
Speaking of kills, it has been, I don't know if the Scots just sniffed the blood in the water or what it was. 22 kills so far through 2 sets for the Scots. 7 kills through 2 sets for the Panthers. It has been all Scots so far. All right, pop quiz. Who do you think leads the team in kills?
For Covenant?
Yes.
I'm going to have to go Cobflesh.
You would be correct. Who do you think is second?
Let me look here.
Oh, have you been taking notes or something?
No. I'm going to go Caldwell.
You're going to go with Caldwell. It's actually Kelsey Carmen. She has 3.
Is it? Okay.
And then third is actually Kyla Bailey, also with 3.
Okay.
You were asking about Caldwell. She actually has 4 kills. Something is up with that. Something is clearly up with that kind of total on our live stats. I'm going to refresh it. But we're going to take a break. There it is. We're going to take a break in between sets. When we come back, the Scots will be looking to close out match number 2 here as we enter set number 3. Possibly a clean sweep. You're listening to Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Welcome back, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Matt Kudrowski and Simon Johnstone covering match number 2 of this tri-match between the Piedmont Lions, the Covenant Scots, and the LaGrange Panthers. And so far in this tri-match, it has been all Covenant Scots so far. They beat the Piedmont Lions in 4 sets, 3-1, and now up 2-0 against the LaGrange Panthers. Now, I know what you're going to say, Matt, Simon, the Lions were down 2-0, and then they ended up making it 2-1. It's very possible that we see the Panthers do that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you were looking at that last set, it really was all Scots. 25-9, the final score in set number 2. 25-18, the final score in set number 1. It's just been sheer dominance.
Yeah, and to add on to that point, it's backed by the statistics as we got at the conclusion of the second set. Strong start from LaGrange, however, as Covenant increased their hitting percentage between set 1 and set 2, increased it by 27%, as LaGrange dropped their hitting percentage by over 120%. So both teams are trending in complete opposite directions. It's going to be on LaGrange to put the pressure on, as someone we haven't seen yet in this match finds her first kill. That is going to be
Summer Northcutt.
I always remember the first name.
We actually had a conversation with Summer Northcutt prior to this match. Unbelievable human being, let alone an unbelievable player. Get this, folks. She's legally blind. One of her eyes, she cannot see in one of her eyes. She can see some movement. She did confirm that with us. She actually transferred from a D1 school. She went to Southern Mississippi her freshman year, ended up transferring to Covenant College, and this young lady, she has been absolutely dynamite. Dynamite.
Could not tell she had any sort of vision impairment besides the physical obviousness of her glasses, but she plays with 20/20 vision. I'll tell you what, she is finding holes in the defense and swinging with such gumption. I don't know how she manages to do it while legally blind. It is absolutely an impressive feat.
It would not surprise me if you see her on the U.S. Paralympics team for volleyball next summer after she graduates. She is, of course, a senior. Attacking her, that one coming off of another player for the Scots we have not seen, number 16, Ella Bailey. Possible relation to Kyla Bailey? Question mark?
Who knows? I believe we may have her hometowns.
We'll see if we can confirm that in a little bit. Ella Bailey rising up, sending that one into the side of the net. Bailey, a freshman. 5 foot. She actually comes in, registers at 5'10".
Yeah, I'm not seeing any information about where they reign from, unfortunately. So, based off all rosters,
or at least not on this roster.
And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like the Panthers off to a strong start, leading 5-2 at the beginning of the third set. As
it is coming off, we are just coming off of another kill by Summer Northcutt. She already has 2 kills so far in set number 2, and the 2 points so far for the Scots. And just as we say that, point awarded to the Scots. Looks like it was a net violation called on the Panthers, as Anna Baldwin, the libero, is back to serve yet again for the Scots. Panthers getting set for a counterattack, looking for Orton able to get it through. Baldwin setting it up for Lochterman, and Lochterman just gets the finish. Another kill for the Scots. 5-4 the score right now. Panthers on top by 1 right now.
Forget the Scots. I think they should be called the Covenant Corner Cutters, because my goodness, are they finding those short corners with such efficiency and ease. LaGrange, like the Lions, unable to cover those spots, and Covenant taking full advantage of those open areas on the court.
Ella Bailey able to send it over for the Scots. Panthers able to turn. Bailey rising up yet again. This time she tips it over. And a great play and a great extension there by, I believe that was Riley Morgan for the Panthers to try and keep that one alive. It ended up being all for naught as Northcutt able to just finish it off yet again. 3 kills already and just 5 points for the Scots.
She has come off to a flying start after sitting the first 2 sets. And my goodness, with the firepower she has, you would expect her to get a kill almost every time she attacks.
She's already tied for 3rd on the team in kill totals for this match, and she's only appeared in this set, and her team only has 6 points so far.
It's quite a good.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Locherman going to be credited with a kill. Kill after kill after kill. It is an absolute slaughterfest with how many kills that these Scots are getting. They're looking like Jack the Ripper out there.
And Baldwin is leading them on a 4-0 run right now, looking to continue that to a 5-0 run as she serves it over to LaGrange. Another attack shut down by Northcutt, if I think I nailed it that time.
Yeah, you did. Northcutt and Locherman teaming up on the block there. And you just see Northcutt. She's dominating on offense with kills. She's dominating on defense now with blocks. And we were talking with her. She's so versatile. She used to be a libero and a defensive specialist. Now we see her as an outside hitter. She can basically play any position on that court. She can deliver on all facets, digs, blocks, kills, you name it. This woman just brings it all for her team. Phenomenal player for the Scots.
She has been a standout performer in the first 2 matches, and I wouldn't be surprised if she continues this display of power and display of unique capabilities across all facets of the game towards the conclusion of this 3rd set, as the Covenant Scots are leading 8-5 in the 3rd set.
And timeout called by the LaGrange Panthers. And as we have Thunderstruck running through the arena right now, let me just tell you, some of these attacks by the Scots have seemed to be Thunderstruck. I can just tell you that right now. AC/DC would be very proud.
AC/DC may have gotten their name from the Covenant hitters, as they have put the balls into the ground with such force, as you say, may have created craters. And I can't say you're too far off, because
it's almost like you're seeing where the lightning bolts are touching down.
They are clocking some serious miles per hour on these swings.
Look out for the collateral damage. Baldwin back to serve. Panthers getting back set. Orton with the attack. And what a play by Baldwin to keep it alive for the Scots. And the Scots are able to get it over. Orton able to get it back over. Baldwin keeps it alive. Now looking for Northcutt. And Northcutt gets the kill yet again. 4 kills for Summer Northcutt. Oh my gosh!
You have got to be kidding me. Talk about a way to start the 3rd set. You had Cobflesh in the first, dropping 5 aces. Now in the 3rd, you've got Northcutt having an insane day of kills and blocks and digs.
She's shown up in this set alone, and she's already tied for 2nd on her team in kills. This is unreal. Ella Bailey with the attack, and Ella Bailey with the kill for the Scots. Unbelievable. And did you see that absolute, I can't even talk about, that was an absolute cannon by the young freshman.
That was amazing. Great depth on the swing, too, forcing Espada to reach out in an awkward position, unable to get her arms around the pass to keep it in play.
And a block by Locherman and Northcutt.
My goodness.
You have to be kidding me right now. What are we seeing out of these two?
We're seeing an 8-0 run out of them. That's what we're seeing.
11
back to serve
5
for the 9th
right
time in a row, looking to push the lead even more.
Blocked up front. Oh my gosh.
Come on. My goodness.
Locherman gets the block. The Panthers not able to get a point there. They had to huddle up and think of some way to regroup. How many serves has Anna Baldwin had to step back for on this run right now?
This serve is number 10, if I'm not mistaken. Serve number 10 in this game, which is incredible.
Unreal. Looking for Northcutt.
You've got to be kidding me. Come on, Northcutt with another. That's number 5.
Guess who she's tied with at the top?
Gee, who could it be?
Emma Cobflesh. How about Summer Northcutt cutting into this Panthers D right now? Oh my gosh.
This is incredible. And credit to the setter, Bartlett, for just rotating.
Look out. Oh,
you gotta be kidding me.
She was going for the solo lead right there. And I'm not sure she's gonna be credited with it.
She should be credited with it. It was just one touch. Should be a kill.
She was.
There it is.
Well, how about that? Summer Northcutt, 6 total kills. And guess what? She's tied for the lead with Taylor Caldwell right now for her team with 6 kills on the day so far. 6 kills in this set alone, already accompanying for almost half of her team's points.
And hey, speaking of this insane run that they're on, they've actually reached 12 straight. Started out 3-5. Now the score is 15-5 in favor of the Scots. Baldwin looking to extend the lead even more, put the LaGrange Panthers out of their misery. Orton went for a tight angle. They're going to give her the point.
That was a
short
smart play
angle
by Meredith Orton.
Goes outside the block, finds the line, and finally shuts down that impressive run by the Covenant Scots.
I will say, if there has been any kind of bright spot for the Panthers so far, it has been Meredith Orton, as well as Zentrina Choice. Scott's getting set, looking for Bailey. Bailey, I can't tell if that was blocked or if that just went into the side.
Appeared to be just short, unfortunately not
Goes
getting it
down
up
as
there.
an attacking error. Scott's getting set, looking for Lockterman. It does look like Lockterman caught that. Oh, that is, you can hear the disapproval from those Scots players.
I gotta be honest, from my angle,
it looked like that got
in.
tipped.
I thought it landed in outright. I don't think it even needed to be tipped. Oh, and then here we go.
There we go.
Who else?
Northcutt.
But Northcutt.
Kill number 7 of this set, leading the team in kills right now. She has almost half the team's points right now.
She finally steps out and goes, hey, anyone else want some kills? I think I've had my
she's had her fair share
in one set.
Goodness gracious. Panthers getting set. Harris going to run and pop it over. Scott's getting set. Bailey's going to rise up. Panthers keep it alive, looking for Harris. Harris sends it into the side of the net. Just did not time that movement on her attack right. Ends up getting it on more of the down hit. Ends up catching the bottom portion of the net. Back to serve for the Scots is number 21, Amber Snook. What a great play by Baldwin on that dig. Snook with the attack. Correction, that was not Snook, that was Caldwell.
They're going to actually give the point to Covenant. Looks like the AR did call a touch on the block, which I believe pushes the lead to 10. 18-8 should be the score, if I'm not mistaken, after the correction of points, if this does go in favor of Covenant. But one thing I want to point out, we've been talking about Northcutt all set, and if you remember, I said 300 was a great percentage to be hitting. That means you're getting a kill on 1 of every 3 attempts on a swing.
I'm scared to find out. What's the attacking percentage?
She's hitting a casual 778 or 78%.
Excuse me?
She is getting more than
3/4.
She gets about 3 kills for every 4 attempts. Which
That's
is
absurd.
That's not real. It's insane what she's producing right now in this third set.
Are we witnessing greatness right now with Summer Northcutt in this third set? Just this third set. That's the only time she showed up in this entire match.
And do we need to mention the particular thing about her eyes? Or
yeah, do we need to mention that she only has 1 functioning eye and is legally blind? Do we need to bring that up?
But hey, that's fine. She's just leading the team in kills, hitting one of the highest percentages I've ever seen.
It's a light flex.
Oh my goodness gracious. Covenant jumping ahead to a 10-point lead, 19-9 the score in the third set, as we have, Nissa Snyder stepping back to serve, looking to push it to 20-9 here in the third.
Someone better call Team USA, because I think they have their next greatest thing in Paralympics or regular Olympics. She could make either. If I'm being perfectly honest, she could make either. Snyder is back to serve for the Scots. 5 points away from closing out this match. And Lockterman sends it into the side of the net. We haven't seen many attacking errors from the Scots so far in this game.
I gotta be honest, that was interesting, because it almost looked like they were on the net to put the ball down, and yet she pulled away and tried to set it up, and then leaning back, and just a bunch of confusing actions. One thing leads to another, attacking error from Covenant, but they jump right back to an actual attack on LaGrange. First set attack goes deep and wide for LaGrange, going to grant another point to Covenant, increasing their lead to 11, only 4 points away from grabbing a sweep in their second match of the day.
And Hannah Hare will sub in for Anna Baldwin. And Lochterman's back to serve. And that'll go down as an ace for Grace Lochterman, as if she doesn't do enough with blocks and kills. Now she's adding aces to her stat box.
This has been quite a dominant showing for Covenant. They really came in here and said, hey, we have the best record and this is why, as they are now just 2 points away from closing out this match in a straight 3-set win.
This has been unreal. Absolutely unreal. 9 total aces so far just for the Scots in this match. Do you have enough aces to make a super deck? A mega deck. That's I'll say these Scots do have a pretty good hand when it comes to, I don't know how good you are with poker terms, but
I love me some poker, I'll tell you what.
Man, it's kind of a royal flush up front.
It really is. They have been dealt pocket aces and have not faltered at all, sweeping the table as they are now set point away.
Service error by Lochterman awards the point to the Panthers. 24-11 the score here in set number 3. The Scots 1 point away from closing out this set and closing out this match. Here's the set, and a great play by Espada to keep it alive. Espada has to bump it over to carry it over, and it just comes up short. And how about the Covenant Scots showing up and showing out in this tri-match? A 4-set victory against the Lions in match number 1, and a clean sweep against the Panthers in match number 2. Credit to these Covenant Scots. They came into this tri-match needing 2 wins, and they walked out with those 2 wins, Simon.
They played strong, smart, and just overbearingly powerful, did the Scots. And honestly, looking at the statistics, it really wasn't, especially in this last match, it really wasn't a showcase of anyone specifically. Sure, we saw Northcutt dominate in the 3rd set, but
don't
you
get
had
me started.
players
7 kills in 1 set?
Right.
In the 1 set of the match that you show up in?
But you did have 4 players of Covenant hit 3 kills. Another one hit 5. Another one hit 6. And then Northcutt leading the team with 7. A nice spread of kills all across. And a just well done, minimal errors. A great display of assists from Bartlett, harnessing 22. And, of course, the notable 5 aces from Cobflesh at the beginning of the 1st set. Only in the 1st set, but that's all they needed to grab themselves the most important and pivotal set, which is the 1st one.
I'll say this, those Covenant Scots, they sure do know how to dominate, and if I'm any other team in the CCS, I would be very scared after watching these 2 games. I would be very scared for what these Scots have to offer, because from what I can tell, these Scots can contend with anybody, and it would not surprise me if they made a deep run in the postseason this year. Coming up next, we will have match number 3 between your Piedmont Lions and the LaGrange Panthers. That one starting, according to our scoreboard clock, in about 33.5 minutes. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. You know where. Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. We will see you then.